This is Dimitri Lascaris coming to you on March 21st, 2024. I've just arrived at Beirut Hariri International Airport after a brief stop in Larnaca, Cyprus. I came to Larnaca yesterday from Tel Aviv after having spent 10 days in occupied Palestine and in Israel as well, visiting several refugee camps in the West Bank, as well as East Jerusalem, the border areas of Gaza, Eilat, and Tel Aviv at the end of my stay there. While I was there, I received an interesting message from somebody purporting to be Steve Schmidt of the Lincoln Project. That message was received on my website. I have no way of confirming whether this person actually is Steve Schmidt of the Lincoln Project. If you've never heard of that name before, wouldn't be surprising, although he has played a significant role in Republican politics, this Steve Schmidt. He was an advisor to the Bush administration, to John McCain, and to the illustrious former governor of California, Arnold Schwarzenegger. And he became most famous when, during the Trump presidency, he formed a super PAC for the purpose of contributing to Trump's defeat, and apparently it was the most financially successful super PAC in U.S. political history, raising over $100 million. And then he had a falling out in 2021 with the organization, and resigned when there were a number of sexual harassment allegations leveled against his co-founder of the organization, the Lincoln Project, and he was allegedly aware of these things and did nothing about them, these allegations. But in any event, that's just some interesting background, which may or may not be pertinent, because I don't know, as I said, if this person actually is Steve Schmidt. The comment itself is what's most interesting. The comment was, as I say, I was in the West Bank at the time when I received it, that I would either be arrested at the airport on my departure from Israel, or I would be arrested while in Israel for my tacit support of terrorist organizations. This, of course, is a falsehood. And I responded to him by pointing out, this is, you can see this comment on my website, that if you support Israel, which is the quintessential terrorist state today in the world in which we live, rivaled only by the United States when it comes to state-sponsored or state-perpetrated terrorism, if you support Israel, then you are in fact the supporter of terrorism. But be that as it may, I must confess that I was concerned going in to occupied Palestine and leaving the country. And while I was there wasn't a moment when I wasn't concerned about what might be done to me by the authorities, because Israel has a long history of persecuting, killing, maiming journalists, and in fact has killed, there's credible reports that it's killed over 100 journalists in Gaza alone since October 7th. It even killed last year Shireen Abu Akleh, an Israeli sniper, shot her in the neck, as I previously covered in Jenin refugee camp, and she was an American citizen and a journalist of a major media organization. So I had no illusions going into Israel that I would be completely safe. But to my surprise, it was actually at least from the perspective of my own personal security, much less problematic than I had anticipated. I did get some fairly aggressive questioning when I entered at the Allenby Bridge from Jordan to the occupied West Bank, but nothing particularly troubling. And I was never harassed by police or military while I was there, even though I was publishing daily reports in which I was being highly critical of the state of Israel and making, with complete justification I should add, very serious allegations of atrocities by the Israeli military, particularly in the West Bank. And then when I left the country, I did not get asked a single question by the person who, the security official who vetted me before I checked in for my flight in Tel Aviv. I mean, that was particularly surprising because in 2016, the last time I was in Israel, and the situation was much less tense than it is now, I got very aggressively questioned at Ben Gurion Airport when I departed the country after having spent a few days in the West Bank. In any event, I must say that I have mixed feelings about leaving occupied Palestine. On the one hand, I now feel safer, even though I'm in a country which is itself at war with Israel, than I did then. I mean, what I experienced on this trip doesn't alter my views one iota about Israel. I mean, there's, as I mentioned, ample reasons for anybody engaged in honest journalism with respect to Israel to be concerned about being in the clutches of that fascist regime, and I'm frankly relieved to be beyond its jurisdiction. But at the same time, I've left behind people for whom I have the utmost admiration and who are living every day with terror, with lawlessness, with racist oppression, and although I'm not at their side at this particular moment, I will continue to do whatever I can, however small my contribution may be, to help deliver justice to the Palestinian people. Now, as for my intentions at this moment, as I mentioned, I'm now in Beirut. This is the third time I've been here in the past 12 months. The first time I came was in March of last year, a year ago, before the events of October 7th. That was the first time I'd ever come to Lebanon. I visited the border areas and I saw the wall separating South Lebanon from Israel. I visited Palestinian refugee camps. Then I came back in October, in mid-October, approximately a week after the attacks of October 7th. And at that point, the Israeli military and Hezbollah had begun to exchange fire on the southern border. I reported extensively on what was happening then. The situation has become considerably more violent since October. There are now daily attacks from each side of the border on the other. There have been, I believe, hundreds of Hezbollah fighters killed. There have been significant casualties on the Israeli side, although the Israeli government has been very, very non-transparent about what exactly is happening on the other side. But, you know, Hezbollah has been publishing regularly videos of missile attacks on Israeli targets, and I've viewed a number of them. They're publicly available. And I think that it's unimaginable that Israel hasn't suffered very serious casualties, both dead and wounded, as a result of the multiple attacks taking place daily from the south of Lebanon into the north of Israel. And now Hezbollah has begun to target the Golan Heights, which Israel has illegally annexed, which is actually the sovereign territory of Syria. So I do hope to go back to the south of Lebanon on this third trip in the past 12 months. That may be quite a challenge because of the security situation, but I'll do my best. And also, I hope to cover any pro-Palestine protests which occur here during my stay in Beirut. And from here, I'll be heading on to another destination. This is the fifth stop on a trip that began early March. I started in Cyprus, then went to Qatar, then to Jordan, then to occupied Palestine and Israel, and now in Lebanon. If you have been watching my videos and you find them informative, please like them. Help me to achieve broader reach. I don't do this for a living. I don't earn any compensation from journalism. I do this as a public service because I'm privileged to be in a position to do journalism and devote myself to subjects that I think are important and being undercovered and misreported by the mainstream media. But in order for this to be of utility to the public, I need to reach as broad an audience as possible, and if you could help me do that, I would greatly appreciate it. For now, I'm signing off, and I look forward to my next presentation.